Hey guys, my name is Angie and today I'm going to walk you through my mid-year life audit. So it is halfway through 2020, or the half of the year has passed by. It's certainly been a year that nobody expected, anticipated, and keeping that in mind, I want to reflect back on some of my goals through that lens, understanding that back in 2019 when I was setting these goals, there was no way of knowing or predicting that we would be in the situation we are today. So what I'm going to do is share the things that I'd set for myself, some winnings of 2020, and how I tracked my goals, what didn't go well, and how I want to improve going forward. So if that's interesting to you, please stay and watch. Okay, so one of the first wins that I've had is that I've certainly shown up more vulnerable and more honest than I had in 2019. I kind of try to bring a lot more depth to conversations and really challenge myself and others to think outside of that. So in some ways I've practiced more metacognition. I'll think back on if I do something, I kind of wonder why I'm thinking this way in that moment. I'll give you an example. I've always reached to do extra. I'm the yes man. When people want something done, they know to ask me, and when I commit, I really commit. I want things done well. And some coworkers have expressed like, wow, you know, I really admire your work ethic or the way that you can do so many things. And in my effort to bring some vulnerability to the conversation, I shared like, hey, this is a crazy year. My desire and the things that you see me reaching for and doing more and showing up isn't necessarily a good thing. Like I wish I could slow down and reflect and really think about how this pandemic has impacted my life and my family and my family's financial situation. And in an effort for me to not think about all of that, I feel like I've just been running on empty, and that's something that I shared with the team. Is like, you know, I appreciate it, you recognizing that it appears that I'm a go-getter and doing all of these things, and while that may be true, I want you to know that I don't know that it's the best thing for people to aspire to do right now, because I wish I had those times to slow down and really think about my mental health, and knowing that that space is important for everybody. Another thing that I feel like was a huge accomplishment was I redid our master bedroom. And so for a long time I had been able to cram and like organize a lot of junks, but I've managed to slim down the amount of things that we have and declutter, so that really reduce the need for storage units. So the room is a lot simpler, it's a lot more calm, it's more relaxing, and it has a defined purpose. It's for us to unwind, sleep, rest. It's not a place to watch TV. That's another big win. We took the TV out of the bedroom. We no longer have that little TV, and yeah, it's just a lot more calming of a space, and that was a huge win. Another big win for the year is that I started an online training program with eCornell, and it's on systems thinking and how to be an entrepreneur, which is a term used when someone is able to apply entrepreneurial ideas in an existing company. More and more as I'm getting deeper and like into not the earlier classes like I was a few months ago, but here now, I find myself needing to take notes and then replay videos. So I think that I'm getting a lot of value out of those classes and finding ways to apply them to my everyday life. Let's see. I did this year, I revamped my website, angieli.com, angieli.com. And I've always had that domain for a long time, but it had in the past served as a portfolio website to just showcase some of the projects and be a really great add-on to my resume. and my LinkedIn, but now I'm wanting to really use it, and it's set up in a great way that I can use it to push content and like push articles and also bring people back to be a regular subscriber of a newsletter whenever I get that rolled out. But I'm trying to build that email list, and now I have the right foundation to make that happen. A couple more things that went really well this year. I completed a dance workshop online with Galen Hooks. It was a one-day workshop, 3 hours, 3 routines. Galen she's a superstar. She's performed with Neo, Sierra, Britney Spears, Camila Cabello, and it was just really incredible to be interacting with her live on the Zoom, learning from her, and just seeing her kick ass really, and like giving me the motivation to practice and dig deeper and challenge myself. Side note, I am a beginner. I'm like a novice dancer. I don't intend to be a professional, but I think that it's a really fun way to exercise. And then finally, I've been reading a lot more. I've read 11 books since January. It's not like a world record. I know some read 11 books a month, but this is really good for me, and it's already more than I read last year, so I'm really excited. Excited for the progress and the things that I've learned. I've been reading more historical novels. Well, previous years I've been reading more on self-development, professional development, and those are still great, but I like the mixture that I'm introducing to think more of like from the story perspective and the takeaways that you can get when you're reading in a novel format. So next I want to talk about how I have tracked those goals. I track monthly. I do a monthly reflection, and then I do a daily habit tracker. So there are times when I definitely fell off the wagon and stopped doing the daily habit tracking, but I've been able, for the most part, recognizing some of those places where I fell off and just giving myself grace. You know, that was a bad month, whatever, or a month for me to focus on other things, or give myself the time, space, and energy that I needed, that I couldn't also do these other rituals. So I'm ready and excited for the rest of this half of the year to kind of refocus on the habit tracking so that I can keep track of what's going well, what's not going well, and see if I've been able to establish patterns. Finally, I want to talk about things that did not go well. Let's see. So I touched on this a little bit. It's getting off track of habit recording, or daily habit tracking. There would be instances, let's say like Friday, it's been a long week, I decide to eat my cheat meal, eat like trash, and then I don't log my food the whole weekend, and the week after that, really. Or yeah, that's about how it goes. On a Friday, I just like let loose. I'll have a few glasses of wine. I'll eat popcorn is my vice. I just love eating air popcorn with butter and then salt and pepper and garlic powder. That is my recipe. It's an amazing recipe. It's so simple and it's really yummy. I'll eat popcorn for dinner almost every Friday, and then it sets me off track for the weekend, because then if I wasn't tracking my food on Friday, I go into the weekend like wanting to have mimosas and brunch, and I'm thinking like, why track all this bad food? I already know that this day is shot. That is the kind of mindset that I don't want to apply going forward. I would like to make a better habit and better daily practice of documenting things if they're positive or negative in my mind. Let's see. Another thing that with the habit tracking, so similarly, if I wasn't working out consistently for a couple weeks, I might not even track it. I'd say like, what's the point of tracking? I'm already lost. I don't know which day I wasn't working out and which day I was, because I was so off of the wagon. What I want to change, and this is a small shift, like a psychological shift, where I'd like to track putting out my gym clothes or wearing my fitness tracker or Apple Watch, so that these serve as cues, so that when I do these small cues, it would help reinforce the behavior or the outcome that I'm looking for. If I put out my clothes, it serves as a reminder or a cue to work out. And I'd rather make a practice of doing those cues because it's so small. Like when comparing working out to picking out an outfit to work out, like that level of effort is like this, right? So I just really want to help build and strengthen that foundation so that I can start making a better habit of having the clothes and then putting on the clothes and then working out and then yes, and then I'm snatched. Just kidding. Next, let's see. Another thing that hasn't gone well is that I have been really just not like talking to people or going outside. I have not made a good habit of talking to friends, keeping up with friends, spending time outside. I was just like, with the Nashville heat and humidity, I've just not been going out. And so it would be really great. I know like vitamin D is important. Just sunshine is great for the mood. And I'm not going to be able to enjoy that very long when it gets into the cooler times of the year. So I would like to make a better habit of using the early morning times when it's not so hot just to go out there, sit. I don't really have to do anything. I might journal while I'm out there, but mostly making time for myself in the mornings before jumping into the day just to get into that mindset. Now that is going to be a really difficult one because I am not a morning person. Nobody's a morning person, but I can become one. I can work towards it, right? Everybody can work towards something. And then finally, something that didn't go so well is I had kicked off 2020 wanting to have been in speaking engagements and do speaking opportunities at least 6 or 8 times this year. And with all of the chaos of people like working from home and not knowing if they needed to work from home and social distancing, it was definitely really chaotic time for me to figure out how I would manage those opportunities or create those opportunities for myself to develop as a speaker or presenter. So this has given me the chance, and as I go forward, I don't want to just choose them off the cuff as much. I want to be really intentional and mindful and strategic about what are my desired outcomes of a session. If I have a speaking engagement about, let's say, design thinking, do I have a feedback loop so that I can connect with those attendees after the session? Can they find my website? Can they get a cheat sheet list? And can we continue staying engaged so that they might be able to go to something online again or tell their friends about the second opportunity for the same talk? Like, I don't have that feedback loop as often in the past, and I'd love to take this time to be more mindful about when I have the attention of an audience, how can I bring them back and continue engaging with them offline. So those are some of the things that didn't go so well and the ways that I want to improve as we go forward. But that was the year 2020. I think like it wasn't what I expected, but I'm definitely pleased with some of the winnings that have happened so far. I challenge you, if you haven't done this yet, it's still July, it's mid-year. You can do this any time of the year, really. So reflect back on some of the winnings that you've had and really recognize the moments that you have shown grit, strength, and perseverance. And if that was just being mindful and really reflective, reaching out to friends who needed it, 100%, 110%, that is wonderful and amazing. And I just hope the best for you. Goal setting for this year is not trash. So I'm excited to go on this journey and find new opportunities and keep killing it, I mean, I wish I could find like a more positive way. I'm gonna say that again. So good luck. Thanks so much for watching and sticking till the very end. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you have a great week. Bye.